You are listening to 389 Country Internet Radio. Are you tired of living with back pain? Let Dr. Peck at Advanced Spinal Correction get you back on track. Advanced Spinal Correction offers innovative treatment through modern technology, non-surgical spinal decompression, and K-laser therapy. Dr. Peck is the team chiropractor for Young Harris College Athletics and a proud supporter of the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. Start your fight against back pain today by calling 828-389-1234. That's 828-389-1234.
At Graves Directional Drilling, we have handled a wide variety of commercial and residential projects for clients. Just like the Yellow Jacket basketball team, we know success comes with strong teamwork. With our attention to detail and dedication to delivering the highest quality work possible, you can rest easy knowing that your project is in the hands of an extremely talented and knowledgeable team of employees. So if you have a directional drilling or trenching project, give Stephen a call at 706-897-0374. And as always, go Jackets!
The views and opinions expressed on the Morning Buzz are not necessarily those of 389 Country advertisers, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, or Google Podcasts.
But they should be.
This is the Morning Buzz.
Good morning, Buzzers. Yo, buddy Trav on the radio. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Morning Buzz on a Wednesday. I had to think for a minute. What day it be? It be Wednesday. Hope your Tuesday was great, but I hope your Wednesday is even better. And I'm going to do my best to try to make sure it at least gets off to a good start. Now, how am I going to do that? Well, dear friends, over the course of the next 3 hours, we are going to dive into all kinds of chaotic news. Some chaotic news from around the world, some political chaos, and, of course, the crazy news story of the day, which today is a listener-submitted story. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And from the wide world of politics, freedom is under attack, and I'll tell you about it and probably lose my mind in the process. Also, from our chaotic news from around the world, somebody has vandalized a statue. Here we go again with the statue vandals. I'll tell you all about that. And also, don't forget our BK Concrete Connection Racing Report. Now, yesterday we didn't have one because the Performance Racing Network didn't have one. So I can't put out what's not there, right? But it's there today, so stay tuned for that. But we cannot do anything until we officially start your day. And in order to get that rolling, we rely on our old buddy Doug. Doug, it's your turn. Here's the microphone. Today is Wednesday, December the 6th of 2023. It is National Miners Day, like coal miners, not like young'uns. Mitten Tree Day. Now, will you celebrate? It's also National Cook for Christmas Day. Now, I tried to find out more about it, but I could not. There's no other. It just says it's observed on this day. It started back in, I don't know when it started, but it's December the 6th every year. Who cooks for Christmas? I don't know. It's National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women. That's in Canada. But back here in the good old U.S. of A., National Gazpacho Day, National Microwave Oven Day. Well, if you're going to cook for Christmas, you're going to need the microwave. Who cooks Christmas dinner in the microwave? Plenty. Let's see. Put on your own shoes day. So if you're a little one, today's the day. So there you go. Taking a look at this day in history, let's go back and work our way forward, shall we? In 1240, Mongols, led by Batu Khan, occupy and destroy Kiev after an 8-day siege. Out of 50,000 people in the city, only 2,000 survived. Whew. In 1865, the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution is ratified, abolishing slavery except as punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. And 2002 adaptation directed by Spike Jonze, starring Nicolas Cage and Meryl Streep, premieres. From the world of music, in 1969, 300,000 attend free concert featuring the Rolling Stones in Altamont, California. The event is marred by violence and 4 deaths. Who would think you hit 300,000 people there for free? Something could go wrong. And world of sports today. In 1992, San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Jerry Rice catches NFL record 101st touchdown in a 27-3 win over the Miami Dolphins. And that's a look at today in history, which brings us to the interesting part of our day. Well, hopefully the whole show is interesting, but, things is a little tricky out there. I'm speaking, of course, of weather, brought to you, as always, by our friends at North Georgia Sign and Apparel. Right now it's 36 degrees in Hayesville, mid-30s all across the tri-state, except for some reason it's showing Young Harris as 40. I don't believe that. Do have a little moisture in the air right now that it may get interesting, but little to no accumulation today. Now, you saw, if you were driving around Clay County yesterday, the road crew, they were ready. They'd already put a little brine down just in case. For today, high of 47, couple of rain showers or snow showers, 85% chance of precipitation. Tonight, 22. Brrr. For your Thursday, milder with plenty of sunshine, high of 56, low of 27 degrees tomorrow night. Slim to no chance of precipitation. And then taking a look at Friday, almost perfection. Partly sunny with a high of 60 and a low of 40 for Friday night as we get ready to head into the weekend. I love it when we go ahead and talk weekend, don't you? And that's it. We have officially started your day. This hour today brought to you by our friends at Advanced Spinal Correction. Welcome back, Buzzers. It is Wednesday, and today we start our Wednesday with our Wednesday song. Here's the Man in Black singing about a car. What? Johnny Cash with the Wednesday car, our Wednesday song. Time now for the 411 for the 389. Here's headlines from overnight. Israeli forces have entered Gaza's second largest city of Khan Younis as Israel's ground offensive expands into the south. Officials say the latest fighting between Israel and Hamas has been the most intense since the war began 2 months ago, as Israel seeks to dismantle what it says is Hamas's last major stronghold. Israel reportedly has made preparations to flood Gaza's tunnels with seawater as part of efforts to destroy an underground tunnel system used by Hamas. In other news, CVS Health yesterday announced major changes to how it will price its prescription drugs, a move observers say could increase transparency in the industry. The announcement comes amid growing government scrutiny of the current maze-like U.S. drug pricing system, which results in the world's highest per capita out-of-pocket spending on prescription drugs. Too poor to be sick. And from the world of education, math scores for American 15-year-olds dropped to an all-time low between 2018 and 2022, according to the latest results of an international exam, the first large-scale study marking the pandemic's impact on education. I am shocked. The Program for International Student Assessment, representing 620,000 students throughout 81 education systems in 38 countries, compares math, reading, and science academic performance. You can get those stories and more for free, and more on those stories for free, over at 389country.com. And that is the 411 for the 389. Parker McCullum there, handle on you. Hope you're having a great Wednesday morning. I know it's rough, and if you're sticking your head out, or if you haven't stuck your head out, you might want to have a hat on. The wind, it will cut through you, because I know most of you are having to get ready to head out to the office, to the job site, to the store. Heck, maybe you're headed to a school somewhere. Whatever the case may be, dear friends, at some point today, you're going to find yourself in the presence of those that make it abundantly clear to you that they need to be educated on the things of this world. And when that moment happens, dear friends, I want you to look them dead in the eye and say, "Losers, I bet I'm funnier than you, and I can prove it." And then drop this on them. Did you know going to work is more dangerous than going to war? It's true. It's true. Statistically, I fumbled that when I was reading over it during that last song. Statistically, you are 3 times more likely to die traveling to or from work than you are if you are to be shipped out to war these days. I have no doubt that this is true. All you have to do is drive for a couple of miles, and you will see that it's dangerous out there, y'all. It's dangerous. And then after you have left them wowed, nay, slack-jawed at your superior knowledge, I want you to hit them with the old 1-2 punch. Look at them again and say, not only am I smarter than you losers, I am funnier too. And then drop this on them. Why is Elon Musk's Christmas... Come on, Trav. Why is Elon Musk's Christmas dinner so awkward? He can't stop talking about his ex. Go ahead and raise your hand if you had Jerry Reed rapping about Christmas on the Morning Buzz. Go ahead and raise that hand up high. I don't see a hand, so I'm guessing none of y'all were expecting that. Sean, here's Dylan Scott. Dylan Scott, new truck. Let's keep it rolling. How about Brantley Gilbert with Vince Gill? Heaven by then. Don't go anywhere. Sports coming up. Time now for sports, and it's basketball heavy. We begin by spotlighting the Lady Yellow Jackets, who were in action last night against Summit Charter. And after losing the season opener to Hiawassee Dam, the Lady Yellow Jackets have been on a tear. They pick up their 3rd straight win last night, 54-26 over Summit Charter. So congratulations to them. Switching gears now to college basketball. Western Carolina last night, Vontarius Woolbright continued his early season tear with a game-high 25 points, but Western Carolina was unable to fully overcome both a sluggish start and a poor shooting performance from beyond the arc, coupled with a hot shooting high-point squad as the Catamounts suffered a 97-71 road setback to the Panthers last night. So, Western Carolina is now 6-2. They return home to Ingalls Court at the Ramsey Center to host mountain rival UNC Asheville in doubleheader action. That will be, when is this? Saturday? I think so. It doesn't give me a date. It just says host them at 4. So I'm going to assume Saturday. And sticking with college basketball, you can catch some tonight over in Young Harris. Young Harris College men's team will be hosting Columbus State. Tip-off at 6 o'clock over at the Harp Recreation and Commencement Center. So if you're looking for a little college basketball tonight, there you go. We've got you taken care of. And that's a look at sports brought to you, as always, by the fine folks at the Clay County Recreation Center. Go by, see Jerry, all the staff, and if you're looking for a way to get moving, I'm pretty sure that they can make it happen for you.
Looking for a way to become more active? Check out the Clay County Recreation Center. From walking and biking trails to a workout room to a state-of-the-art pickleball court, the rec center has something for all levels of physical activity. They even have an airfield for RC pilots. And don't forget about all the sports leagues for the kids. Visit the center at 333 Ballpark Drive in Hayesville or call 828-389-0368.
This is the Morning Buzz.
Time now for the Bozo News of the day. Today, we head to Wisconsin. Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin. Who among us has never visited Menomonee Falls? Anyway, our Bozo had a plan to do a smash and grab at the local K jewelry store. Every kiss begins with K and idiot begins with an I. He parks right up front and casually strolls in, pulls a brick out of his pocket of his baggy shorts, and goes to work on the display case. Well, he slams the brick onto the glass, but it doesn't shatter. So, he does what any idiot would do. He hits it again. Still no luck. Now, the employees are running to the front of the store to stop him, so he picks up the pace. Slam, fail, slam, fail. He hits the thing 9 times with a brick, and it still doesn't give way. Talk about a commercial for a jewelry case. Anyway, finally, an employee chases him out of the building, and he jumps into his car and drives away. But she got the license plate, and the video camera got a good picture of him. He was busted. What an idiot, man. Once you hit it once, and it doesn't break, you gotta say to yourself, self, this is a lost cause, and I'm out of here. Idiots are everywhere. Even probably even down in Texas.
Alabama, if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band. Well, normally at this time, we take a look at a study or a survey, but I wanted to share something with y'all. So, I'm not big on taking drugs. I mean, the medicinal kind, okay? However, every night I take a melatonin, and it's all natural, right? And I know some people say, oh, there's side effects to that. There's side effects to everything. Anyway, last night, melatonin does the job, but you're on a wild ride. Last night I dreamed that my daughter wanted me to go to take her to a friend of hers' church, right? And we get there, and there's a lady out front, and she informs me, she says, well, I'm what some would call a pastor, some would call a bishop, but I just refer to myself as an open consumer. And I thought to myself, let's roll. But went on in, and they invite my daughter and I up in the choir loft to join with their worship. And the open consumer hands me a phone book and says, we want you to use this to make a joyful noise. She said if you flip the pages just right, it sounds like the washboard. So they commenced to singing, and I commenced to page flipping. And then I realized how dumb this was, and so I called halt on everything and gave them a word from the Lord myself. So I say all that to say this. Melatonin seems to be, the most natural way for sleep assistance. But just be prepared. You may wake up exhausted from trying to save people from open consumers. Time now to take a look at this day in country music. Back in 1960, Wings of a Dove by Ferlin Husky was at number 1 on the country chart. His third and final chart topper. Do y'all know it? On the wings of a snow white. Yeah, see? I knows it. 1984, the supergroup. Oh, wait. Let me back up. 1976, Willie Nelson was at number 1 with The Troublemaker. The gospel album was recorded in 1973, but Nelson's label Atlantic Records refused to release the record at the time. The Heathens. 1986, George Strait was at number 1 on the Billboard Country Chart with It Ain't Cool to Be Crazy About You. Kenny Chesney later recorded a version of the song. In 1988, recording sessions began for the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band's Will the Circle Be Unbroken, Volume 2. And on this day in 2002, These Days by Rascal Flatts was at number 1 on the U.S. country charts. Man, that was all the way back in y'all, look at how that was 21 years ago. Good, almost 22. Well, no, 21 exactly, not almost. Come on, Trav, it happened on this day. It's exactly. Anyway, we land in 1984. That seems random, but why 1984? Well, on this day in 1984, the supergroup of Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson recorded the Jimmy Webb song Highwayman at Nashville's Moman Studios. Now, I remember when I was a kid, this song came on and it scared me. Spooky. Here are the Highwaymen. Kenny Chesney, All I Want for Christmas is a Real Good Tan. Well, that's going to do it for hour number 1, but don't you fret, dear friends. We've still got 2 hours to go. Coming up in hour number 2, we are going to tackle political chaos from around the world, including a story I didn't get to yesterday. And freedom is under attack, and I may lose my mind defending the Democratic Party. Yeah, that's how bad things have gotten. So you make sure to stick around for that. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Go ahead and text a friend. Tell them to tune in because none of us know what's going to happen. Thanks for listening to The Morning Buzz.
Are you tired of living with back pain? Let Dr. Peck at Advanced Spinal Correction get you back on track. Advanced Spinal Correction offers innovative treatment through modern technology, non-surgical spinal decompression, and K-laser therapy. Dr. Peck is the team chiropractor for Young Harris College Athletics and a proud supporter of the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. Start your fight against back pain today by calling 828-389-1234.
Welcome back, Buzzers. Your buddy Trav on the radio. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Morning Buzz Hour 2 on a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. Coming up in this hour, political chaos, including a story that I didn't get to yesterday that leads to another story from today. So that's just the way it works in the world of politics. Everything is connected somehow. But as we do every day in Hour 2, we begin this hour by connecting with Jesus, because you know we need Jesus before we talk politics. Today's 389 Country Gospel Spotlight Song of the Day comes to us from Zach Williams and Dolly Parton. There Was Jesus. Welcome back, buzzers. It's time to get into political chaos. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Bob Menendez, he is a senator, and he's got some questionable activity in his life. But he refuses to step down, because why would he? Why would anybody give up that kind of power? There's no need for him to, right? Well, 4 of the gold bars Senator Bob Menendez stashed at his home were previously stolen from the businessman accused of bribing the New Jersey Democrat, according to a report. The serial numbers on some of the gold found by the FBI during a June 2022 raid on Menendez's Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey home match identifiers that Fred Davies reported to police after a 2013 armed robbery. So he was bribing this politician, and then he got robbed. Gold was stolen from him, and that gold that was stolen was found in that politician's home. I'm sure it's coincidence. Robbers made off with $500,000 in cash and 22 gold bars. Police later nabbed 4 suspects and recovered the stolen gold. The matching serial numbers indicate that authorities have directly linked at least some of the gold found in Menendez's home to Davies. So now Davies has been accused of bribing the senator for a series of favors, including help in disrupting a federal prosecution against him. But I'm sure, like I say, coincidence. Now, Menendez, who's 69, he was hit with the federal corruption charges in September related to an alleged years-long bribery scheme. Now, I'm all for, here's the thing, I am all for innocent until proven guilty. However, it's not a right to be a U.S. senator, right? That's a privilege. So you're not, if they throw you out, they're not taking away your rights. So we'll see where it goes. But this story leads into our next story because it has created an unlikely union. Stay tuned. I'll tell you more about that. Right now, it's Garth Brooks with Rodeo. Thanks for listening to the Morning Buzz here on 389 Country. Garth Brooks with Rodeo. That brings us to part 2 of what we were talking about. Now, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but no one on the left has a troll game nearly as strong as John Fetterman. Well, I can't believe that. He looks like Shrek. So here's what happened. You have George Santos, who was thrown out of D.C. the other day for accusations being made against him. He's been indicted. So we were just talking about Menendez, who's still sitting there, and he's not been convicted. Santos hadn't been convicted of anything either, yet they threw him out. So what does this have to do with John Fetterman? Well, John Fetterman is the only Democrat that is vocal about having Menendez thrown out too. And it's really weird to agree with Shrek on something, but I think he's right. Because, like I say, even though I believe in innocent until proven guilty, being removed from a political office is not a violation of your rights. If we're just going to... Anyway, so he actually feels like Santos was done dirty because he said, at most he lied. And we all know if you threw every politician out who lies, Washington would be empty. I'm down with that. But anyway, so Santos now has taken to, what's it called? Cameo. So you can request a video from him and, you pay for it. Well, here's what he put out on X, he being Fetterman. I thought my ethically challenged colleague Bob Menendez from New Jersey could use some encouragement given his substantial legal problems, so I approached a seasoned expert on the matter to give Bobby from Jersey some advice. So basically, John Fetterman bought a Cameo from George Santos, and if you're unfamiliar with it, basically a celebrity will make a video for you saying happy birthday to somebody or whatever you want them to, and you pay them, right? Well, now since this guy's without a job, he's gone to this. So Fetterman ends up spending $343 to troll both these guys. Fetterman's spokesperson told Business Insiders that Santos posted the cameo just 16 minutes after it was requested. Spokesman said that with taxes, fees, and an extra charge to deliver it within 24 hours, the cameo cost Fetterman $343.20. We did not expect to get it back so fast, the spokesman said. Look, left, right, center, I don't care. This is funny. And then at the end of it, it says, Merry Christmas, at the end of the video. That's what Santos says. So, again, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of starting to like this Fetterman guy. His stance on the Israel-Hamas situation and his and apparently his health's doing better. He's a whole lot easier to understand now. That or they've upped the dosage, if you know what I mean. So, I love it when hypocrisy's pointed out. That's what we do here. And if John Fetterman is spending $343 to do it, more speed, more power to him, or more speed. Godspeed, more power, hammer down, get her done, John. Toby Keith, Frosty, the Snowman. I'm starting to get in the Christmas mood, or y'all? I'm trying. I mean, it's only December the 6th, but I'm trying to kind of hurry that along because it is a special time, right? And so I would like to be in that mood for as long as I can, and be cheery and joyful. Oh, speaking of cheery and joyful, time for a Donnie T update. Donald Trump in the news, kind of. It's actually Kelsey Grammer in the news. In an interview with the BBC meant to promote the Paramount Plus reboot of the tremendously popular Frasier series, star of the show Kelsey Grammer was asked about his support of Donald Trump. And in that, he was happy to talk about Donald Trump and said that, yeah, I still support Donald Trump. Good on you, Kelsey. Good on you. But as soon as he started talking about Trump, producers ended the interview. Producers at Paramount, they ended the interview. So here's what the BBC interviewers said. Interviewer 1 said, I have to say Kelsey Grammer himself was perfectly happy to go on talking about it. The Paramount Plus PR people less happy that he talked about it at some length. Interviewer 2 said they'll be really thrilled that you mentioned that on air. So this was talking about the interview obviously later. Back to interviewer 1, really thrilled. Anyway, they decided we'd had plenty of time for our interview, but I should stress that he was absolutely perfectly happy to talk about why he supported Donald Trump and still does in the coming election. Oh no, the man on TV doesn't have the same politics as me. We have to shut him up. Well, I guess now I'm going to have to watch the newest version of Frasier. So you're either supposed to talk about how great Joe Biden is or not talk about politics at all. Got it. Welcome back, buzzers. Your buddy Trav here, and pay attention. I'm about to lose my mind as I defend the Democratic Party. With, excuse me, this from the Washington Post. With the presidential primaries looming, there's only one name on the official list of Democratic presidential candidates in Florida. That's President Biden, a move that angered the long-shot challengers who say they're being unfairly left out. The decision is the latest setback for Representative Dean Phillips out of Minnesota and Marianne Williamson, both of whom trail Biden in public polling and fundraising. Under Florida rules, the state's party votes on who will appear on primary ballots. Florida's Democratic Party said in a statement Friday that the executive committee voted unanimously late last month to name Biden and only Biden to its list of candidates. Now, here's the thing. Oh, and if a presidential primary has a single candidate, state election law says that the uncontested race will not appear on the state's primary ballot. So basically, they canceled the primary in Florida for the Democrat presidential election. Do I think these Marianne Williamson or Dean Phillips could win Florida? Nope. Do I think they have a chance? Nope. Here's what I think. That 1% or 0.1%, however many people are supporting these people, they should, we're told that your vote matters, right? Your vote counts just as much as anybody else's. But apparently not. You don't even get a chance to voice your vote in Florida now if you're a Democrat. And it's basically the party has decided we're going to tell you who to vote for, and you either line up next November to vote for him, or we call you a fascist, right-wing, nut job, conspiracy Trump lover. What happened to... This is the party that yells, democracy, democracy, democracy. Yet, they are the party that's eliminating democracy. Nah, that guy don't have a chance. That woman don't have a chance. We're not even putting them on the ballot. Listen, they ran RFK off from the party because of the way they were treating him. So he has to run as an independent. They wouldn't set up any debate with Biden, and we all know why. We all know why. There's no way they let him debate Trump either. It's just not going to happen. Well, you're talking as if Trump has already won the nomination. Well, he's up by 40-something points, so I'm just assuming here. But a debate won't happen. So they've eliminated any competition. When RFK was starting to gain ground, what did they started the campaign, oh, he's an anti-vaxxer, oh, he's a nut job, he's this, he's that, blah, 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 to make him look bad. They still haven't given him Secret Service, and so he ends up leaving the party that his uncle and his dad were such a big part of back in the 60s. And now he can't even be a member of that because he doesn't just fall in line. How dare you? How dare you challenge, the emperor? Listen, Democrats, this may be in Florida, but monkey see, monkey do. Monkey throw stuff at you, because more will be doing this. Oh, this is how we can. They don't want, the last thing they want is to have a primary and these no names actually have, even if it's 2%, they don't want them to have any numbers. Now, Republicans, you better watch out, because Republicans will do the same thing. It just takes them longer to figure out how. So you next. Let me tell you something. If the Republican establishment thinks that they can figure out a way to do this and keep Trump off, they will. Democracy. January 6th, the day democracy almost died. Really? By definition, it wasn't an insurrection, and we're not a democracy. But they yell, democracy, democracy. The people have to have a say-so. This is the people's democracy. All right, let the people vote in the primary. Nope. They can vote for Joe. That's it. I'm so old. You guys remember when freedom was America's calling card? Do y'all remember that? It was like way back in the medieval times. There were still dragons flying around, I think. Sturgill Simpson there. I don't mind. I don't either, Sturge. I don't either. Well, things have gotten so bad in California that people are snatching Christmas trees off of other people's cars. Yep, not even stealing them from the tree lot. So there's video here of this SUV sitting there in the parking lot of this store, right? And it's got the Christmas tree tied to the top. Even got the stand already on the tree. Another SUV, and I mean a nice one, pulls up next to it pulls up behind it, the one with the tree, then backs up and pulls into the parking spot next to it. A guy gets out, clips the string, unloads it, and throws it in the back of his SUV, and then drives away, leaving the string dangling from the roof rack of the first one. Now, the police department said this is a unique situation, and even though we didn't catch this Grinch, he or she is definitely getting added to Santa's naughty list. Really? Do you think this family that had their Christmas tree stolen... Now, look, I know there's bigger deals than a stolen Christmas tree. I get it, but... Well, we can't get him, but he'll be on Santa's naughty list. That's when you should be able just to backhand them. But they're police. Doesn't matter. They're an idiot when they tell you that. And it's not like this was a crime of opportunity or anything. Like, you don't just drive by. I like that tree. I'm going to take it. One way you know it wasn't is because he doesn't put it on top of his SUV. He crams it in the back, which means he has to have his rear seats laid down to get that thing in there. So I'm guessing he drove by, saw the tree, went to another part of the parking lot, let those seats down, came back by, and off with the tree. Merry Christmas. The victim, meanwhile, reportedly declined to follow an official police report. That's how bad it's gotten in California, y'all. You're too afraid to even file a report when somebody steals your Christmas tree, but that's no surprise. You got to remember, last week we talked about California is actually dealing with pirates. So, Gavin Newsom had the debate with DeSantis last week. This really helps. And no, before you ask, the guy who stole the tree was not all green and furry and dressed in a Santa suit. No, just a plain old guy. Merry Christmas, y'all. I can't give you a tree, but I can give you good music. Larry Fleet with Earned It. How about a little Haley Witter's Everything She Ain't? Well, that's going to do it for hour number 2, but don't you fret, dear friends. We still have a full hour to go, full of chaotic news from around the world, including, they're at it again, statues being vandalized. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Come on back. Bring a friend.
At Graves Directional Drilling, we have handled a wide variety of commercial and residential projects for clients. Just like the Yellow Jacket basketball team, we know success comes with strong teamwork. With our attention to detail and dedication to delivering the highest quality work possible, you can rest easy knowing that your project is in the hands of an extremely talented and knowledgeable team of employees. So if you have a directional drilling or trenching project, give Stephen a call at 706-897-0374. And as always, go Jackets!
Welcome back, Buzzers. Your buddy Trav on the radio. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Morning Buzz here on a Wednesday, hour 3 right now. As I look out the old studio window, see some clouds and some blue sky. I've got a feeling, though, it's not as warm as I think it is. It's toasty in here this morning, but I ain't mad about it. Coming up in hour number 3, we're going to take a look at chaotic news from around the world, including a story about a school being broken into here in a couple of minutes. Also, we've got the crazy news story of the day, which was submitted by a buzzer, and the BK Concrete Connection racing report. But we are at almost 9:04, which means we are in the 9 o'clock hour, and we kick the 9 o'clock hour off with 90s at 9. Here's Tracy Lawrence with Alibis. Tracy Lawrence with Alibis. Well, let's jump into the chaos. Now, unfortunately, in today's time, when you hear about someone breaking into a school, that, cops take that pretty seriously, rightfully so. Well, in New Jersey, cops got a report of an intruder in a school. When they got there, it wasn't who they expected. A deer broke into a New Jersey elementary school, and the ensuing chase through the hallways was caught on police body cameras. It's a high-speed chase. They're running down Rudolph. Stop or I'll shoot. If you shoot a deer with a taser, do you have instant jerky? Ask him for a friend. The Toms River Police Department shared video on Instagram showing officers conducting a foot chase with the four-legged trespasser inside Cedar Grove Elementary School. The deer, which had entered through a glass window, ended up in a classroom. Officers opened the rear door and guided their new furry friend to the exit. Police wrote the deer was last seen headed north. Yeah, he's trying to get back to Santa Claus. I don't think any charges were filed by the school. How did it get in? Did it, I guess, crash through? It just says that it entered through a glass window. When I hear that, I think entered through a glass window, but I'm not. I'm watching the video here. I'm not seeing any blood or anything. It is kind of funny to see these guys chasing a deer down the hallways of school. It's dark, so they're having to use flashlights. This was overnight, so no children were harmed in the making of this footage. But a deer in school, maybe he was looking for the teacher because, they wouldn't let him join in on their reindeer games. By the way, on Rudolph, the movie, the coach, from this day forward, Rudolph cannot compete in reindeer games. Coach is a little rough. You can tell that movie was made way back when, because now he would be brought before the board and shamed and called bad names on Twitter. Right? That's the world we live in now. Welcome back, Buzzers. Back to the chaos we go. What's on your bucket list, you and your friend? Well, an Australian duo broke a Guinness World Record by going on a pub crawl that took them to 99 different bars over the course of 24 hours. Harry Caruso and Jake Loiterton both 26, had drinks at 99 Sydney bars over the course of the day to break the Guinness World Record for the most pubs visited in 24 hours. They took the title from South African man Heinrich de Villiers, who visited 78 pubs in 24 hours last year. I think we covered that. The duo said they faced numerous challenges over the course of their pub crawl, including being turned away from some establishments that did not want them recording video inside, and Carews vomiting 2 hours into the attempt. Luckily, after recessing our game plan, I managed to pull it together and continue. The pair said they had aimed for 100 pubs, but stopped at 99 due to a counting error. Well, you go drinking for 24 hours, you might make a counting mistake. Carews said the most difficult part of the attempt was consuming so many beverages. You think? He said, while we initially planned to have an alcoholic drink at every second pub and having non-alcoholic drinks at the alternating pubs, we quickly changed this plan. With Sydney's strict intoxication laws, we realized we needed to keep from being too inebriated so that we were let into all the pubs. Yeah, they won't serve you if you're falling down drunk. The record attempt raised money for multiple sclerosis research charity, MS Australia. So at least it went to a good cause, but shocker, 99 bars in 24 hours, and you got the numbers wrong. I wondered when I first started reading this earlier, I was like, why'd they stop at 99? You only needed one more. Well, fools can't count. What if I told you you are about to hear the number one song on the pop country charts right here on the Morning Buzz? You would think, Trav, you have lost your mind. No, dear friend, it's this one. Brenda Lee is number one on the pop charts. Permanently take my name, and back to the chaos we go. Well, where did it go? There it is. They're at it again. They're destroying statues. California cabin owner arrived at the property to find her deer statue was damaged. She checked security camera footage to find out, just what kind of, wild hippie movement destroyed her deer statue. Well, what did she find? I added that in there, by the way. She didn't say that's why she checked. She just wanted to see what happened. She checked security camera footage to reveal the culprit was a buck with romance on his mind. Apparently, the statue was too realistic. Dolores Eastman Runte said the deer's statue's legs were broken when she returned to her Camp Nelson cabin, so she checked the footage from her Ring security camera. The footage showed a male deer approaching the statue, which is used for crossbow practice, and attempting to, make the statue feel like a woman. I'll just leave it there. She said another deer, possibly the same animal, returned a week later for a second try with the statue that resulted in the animal and faux deer both tumbling to the ground. Look, you got to be careful. Love make you do dumb things. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Poor old deer, he come back a week later, which tells you what? He couldn't find him another girlfriend anywhere. I'll go back to that one that's got broken legs and acts like I'm not even there. I mean, you got to do something, right? It's time now for the crazy news story of the day. And today we head to Michigan. And, let's just... This could be a bozo news story of the day. It may be... One day I may come back to this one because it's just, y'all, really. I mean, we all have those brain lock-up moments where you forget that you're a human and that you think. Anyway, a Michigan woman was arrested at a Walmart store over the weekend after she was allegedly caught shoplifting. Now, you may be saying to the radio, Trav, I mean, yeah, that's bad, but that happens all the time. True. Let me finish the sentence. A Michigan woman was arrested at a Walmart store over the weekend after she was allegedly caught shoplifting during a Shop with a Cop event with over 70 police officers present. Law enforcement officers were at the store in Genoa Township on Saturday when a clerk notified police that a woman had packed a cart with about $730 worth of goods and ran through the self-checkout. from Michigan State Police Lieutenant Renee Gonzalez. I do have to say it surprised me because when I'm driving a patrol car, people slow down. When you see 75 cops in the store, I mean, I don't know if maybe they thought we were too busy. We bring children that might otherwise not have a good Christmas to come to the store, the lieutenant said. They get $100, sometimes $150 gift card to go and shop for themselves with their family. As officers and children were shopping, the 62-year-old woman walked out of the store with a variety of items, including groceries and clothes, without paying. A trooper followed the woman into the parking lot and spotted her loading the stolen goods in her car, which was parked next to a police cruiser. Police said the woman was arrested and taken into Livingston County Jail. She bonded out but will be charged with retail fraud. The woman's identity was not released. Now, look, if she's in tough times and having to do what she has to do, that's one thing, but this is just stupidity. More than 70 cops there. You park next to a cop car and you just rolling out. I tell you what it probably is. The fact that we see all these stories where people do whatever they want and there's no punishment, she's probably like, yeah, what can the cops do? I mean, I'm not hurting anybody. They can't do anything. This is nonviolent crime. And in Michigan, I could understand why she would think that. And that is today's crazy news story of the day. And next, how about a little Coulter Wall? Miranda Lambert with Tin Man. I'm not crying. You're crying. Back to chaos. Well, you know, last week we talked about when you get your Christmas tree, make sure to shake it good before you take it in if it's a real tree, and maybe even use a leaf blower to blow any dead loose needles or bugs or anything so you don't have praying mantises hatching. Apparently, the old fake tree's not safe either. A Texas woman had an early holiday surprise when she found a possum hiding in the branches of her Christmas tree. There's a video here, and she's got one of the trees with the fake snow on it, and buddy, he is just anchored in there. A video posted to TikTok, because that's where we all live, by Brett Bat 359 that shows the possum hiding inside the adorned tree inside the woman's home. The woman said in a follow-up video that she does not know how the animal got inside her home, as no doors had been left open. I'm going to go with hole in the attic. She said she heard noises after arriving home from work, but initially thought they were coming from one of her 3 dogs or her cat. Now, you need new dogs if they didn't know that a possum was in that Christmas tree. She eventually got up to investigate the sounds and saw a long rat tail sticking out from under her tree. Or sticking out from her tree, not under it. Now, that could have been me in 1989 that she saw in her tree. She eventually got up, did that. She donned rubber gloves and attempted to pull the animal out from the tree, but it was clinging tightly to a branch. She was able to pull the possum free, but it broke free from her grasp and fled under a couch. The animal fled from furniture item to furniture item until the woman was able to, quote, tackle him like an NFL football player. The woman said the possum, which she was able to carry outside, was not mean or aggressive during the encounter, just skittish. She said, as an animal lover, I probably would have kept it if it didn't smell so horrid. Yeah, that's a good idea. Keep a possum. He won't bite your face or anything. Again, what I take from this whole story, she needs new dogs. You got 3 dogs. 1, they can't tell you there's a possum in the house. 2, they can't tell you there's a possum in the Christmas tree. And 3, you have to catch it. This thing's running all over your living room. What are the dogs doing? Are they standing back, or are you telling them, no, don't get it, don't hurt it? If it's at my house, hey, Pogo, grab that thing. Ronnie Millsap, Merry, Merry Christmas, baby. Well, seems like we have one of these stories every couple of months. A crematorium worker in Brazil got a shocking surprise after finding a 90-year-old woman still alive inside a body bag after she was pronounced dead, according to reports. According to the Estado, I don't know, Anyway, a Brazilian news source. The whole ordeal began on Saturday in the city of São Jose, just hours after hospital staff pronounced Norma Silveira da Silva dead. We're going to go with Norma from here on out, okay? The 90-year-old was then placed into a body bag and sent to the morgue for preservation. Once the crematorium discovered the woman was still alive, she was sent back to the hospital and readmitted in what reports say was very poor condition. Well, you think? She was doing so bad at the hospital you thought she was dead, so you unhook her from everything, zip her up in a body bag, probably not too easy on her, take her to the morgue, and then bring her back. Did you expect her condition to improve while she was gone? If that's the case, what kind of hospital are you running? The caregiver for the woman, Jessica Sylvie Perrier, why can't it be Smith, told the news source that the woman was admitted to the hospital in very poor health on Friday, and by Saturday evening, she and the woman's son were notified she had died. The caregiver stated that her friend's body was quickly sent off to the morgue without even allowing her loved ones a moment to see her and say goodbye. Government health care. According to the death certificate, which was issued by the hospital, it stated that Norma had died from a UTI. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. When the crematorium worker gained access to the body, he allegedly told the caregiver that he was surprised because her body still felt warm, and based on the time of death, it should have been colder. He added that when he lifted the woman, her arm shouldn't have fallen. Oh, y'all. Which he said was a sign that her body was not yet in rigor mortis. Caregiver said her friend had spent nearly 2 hours inside a sealed bag and almost suffocating to death. Good thing she was having shallow breaths, right? According to reports, it was not immediately clear if she ultimately died from not receiving medical treatment in time or another underlying addition. So she did pass away. But we get these stories all the time, right? Somebody needs to check a little more. Here's Scotty McCreery. Live a little. Well, that's going to do it for the old Travinator. Just like that, Wednesday morning has come and gone, dear friends. But don't you fret. We're going to do it again. But I remind you to keep a check on 389country.com throughout the day for news you can use. Always new, always free. Make sure you take advantage of that. There's new news stories there hitting there all day long. So check that out. And keep us on. We're the perfect soundtrack to your day. Josh David coming up in just a couple of minutes. And he'll take you on to John and Heidi at noon. I'll be back with you bright and early tomorrow morning. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll count down the CDX Top 10. Uncle Joe will call in. And, of course, the normal chaos that always ensues. Until then, remember, wrestling's real. Politicians are fake. You guys have a great Wednesday. Stay warm. I'll see you tomorrow.